Is it better to be loved or feared? That's a very good question. It'll be nice to have both, but it's quite difficult. If I had my choice, I'd rather be feared. That's a quote that I will never forget from the movie A Bronx Tale. In today's video, we're going to discuss how do you become someone who is charismatic, someone who is really, really nice, but without being a pushover, without people stepping on you. So the story goes like this. A couple of weeks ago, I posted this one video which totally blew up. It has like 500,000 views right now. And it basically said that in order to be interesting, you needed to be more interested in the other person. And there was this one comment which really caught my eye. And it said that, okay, I tried to be interesting. I tried to be more interested in the other person and be more charismatic. But how do I do that without coming across as a pushover? And that's what we're going to discuss today. Because that was exactly what I was thinking at 14 years old when I felt like everybody was laughing at me. I didn't have any respect whatsoever in my class. Like, it was that time when every single kid in class was making the yo mama jokes, whatever. And I always felt like people were targeting me for some reason or another. There was this one kid in my class who repeated like the class a couple of times. He was really, really tall and really, really big. And he was like the kind of alpha male of the class, whatever. And he was always making those jokes like, oh, Ivan, if you haven't had a girlfriend until now, you may be gay, whatever. Oh, your mama, Ivan. I was like, shut the fuck up, man. I hated that guy. And I always thought, okay, I need to stop saying things that can be just turned into jokes so that this motherfucker doesn't laugh about me. So every single day, I would just concentrate all of my forces into saying, how do I gain more respect from these people? How do I stop them from just disrespecting me? Because at the very beginning, I tried to be like overly nice. I was trying to make everybody happy around me. And I was like, oh, I cannot do anything for you, whatever. And that's the reason why people didn't respect me, because they saw me as a pushover. People were stepping on me. That's the reason why they didn't respect me. So I noticed that and I said, okay, if I'm being nice and people don't respect me, I might as well just go and do the total opposite. I became like very nonchalant, like the cool guy, whatever, like I don't care, whatever. I was like an asshole, and people were like, I don't even like you like this. Like, you are worse than a pushover right now. I prefer you when you were just very, very nice and whatever. So I went into these two totally opposite things, and then I found the perfect balance of these two, and it was becoming charismatic. And how do you become charismatic and be respected at the same time? Because 14-year-old me didn't really see the difference between someone who is charismatic and someone who is a pushover. I was trying to please everyone, but I saw that people were not respecting me. And I came to this conclusion that it's not what you say. Charisma is not about the things that come out of your mouth, but in reality, about the person you are. There was this one day when we were making a big decision in class, and there was this one kid who, in every single class, there's this one kid who is very, very funny. He's very bad in school, but he's very, very funny. And everybody laughs at his jokes, but they don't really take him seriously. So this kid said something which was very, very intelligent and very, very clever. And I was like, this guy's a genius, whatever. And no one took him seriously, because he was the clown. He was the clown of the class. But then my friend Alex, who was very handsome, who did very well in school, who was very athletic, whatever, all the girls liked him. He was very, very well respected. He said exactly the same thing. And everybody just said, oh, Alex, he's so intelligent. Like, that's a great choice. The thing that you have said is so intelligent, whatever. And I was like, they said exactly the same thing. Like, what has changed? The thing that has changed was the person who said it. In psychology, there's this thing called the halo effect. What is the halo effect? Well, it basically means that if you are competent in one area of life, if you are very, very good at playing football, like you are the top 10% of the people who play very good football, people tend to translate that competence into other areas of life. They tend to say, oh, if he's so good at playing football, he must be very good at studying as well. And the more competence you have in more areas of life, people will tend to idolize you more. It's like an idolization that people make of you. People say, okay, if he's so good in this thing, he must be very good in this other thing as well. And that's how you gain more respect, by being competent in more areas of life. You need to take advantage of this halo effect in making people think that you are this person who is very, very competent in all these areas of life, by being competent in 2 or 3 areas in which you are really, really good at, and people will respect you more. In charisma, there's this graph that describes this very, very well. It's the warmth and competence charisma, which basically says that in order to be charismatic and for people to respect you, you need to have the perfect balance between someone who is very warm, someone who is very welcoming, and someone who is very competent. Because if you're someone who is very, very welcoming, but you lack competence, people will not respect you. People will see you like a puppy, like, is very, very nice to be around, but I wouldn't trust him because you are not competent. In the same way, if you're very, very competent but very, very cold, people don't want to be around you, you're not charismatic at all, people will not respect you either because they will see like you are a total freak, I don't want to be around you. So you need to build the perfect balance between being competent and being warm. And the worst thing you can do in order to command more respect is to go into a room and ask for it. You cannot go into a room and say, oh, respect me, respect me, respect me. People are not going to respect you in that way. Furthermore, they're going to just respect you even less because you have said that. You have told them to respect you in such a needy way. Like, let's say, for example, with all the respect in the world, if you go down to the street and you see a beggar, and he asks you, how was your day? And then 2 streets down, you see the president and he asks you, how was your day? They said exactly the same thing. But I bet you 100% that you will have more respect for the president than the beggar. Like 100%. You can say anything you want, but 100% you will have more respect for the president. Like, why is it? Because of the competence. You see the president as someone who is more competent, someone who has more status than the other person. And that's the sign for you to build those things in your life. In order to command more respect, you need to be the person who deserves that respect. You need to be the person who is able to walk away from a room if he doesn't feel respected. You need to be the kind of person who is so competent that people say, okay, this motherfucker knows what he talks about. Being competent is the shortcut in order to be respected. That's exactly what you need to start building in yourself. Just being more competent in that area of your life, which you consider to be most important. That was everything for today's video, guys. I love you so much. I'll see you on the next one. Mwah.